The modern human mind is like a city that never sleeps. Thoughts race endlessly like traffic on an unlit road, crowded, noisy, and without pause. We worry about what hasn't happened, regret what has passed, and fear what is unknown. The result is an inner world stretched tight like a string, and yet, amid this endless noise, who among us hasn't longed for a single quiet moment, a breath in which the mind is neither dragged into the past nor hurled into the future, just calmly resting in the present, where the breath softens, the light gentles, and everything becomes clear. That is the art of inner stillness, seemingly simple, yet the very doorway to true freedom. The Buddha taught, when the mind is still, wisdom appears. When the mind stops, we can see the essence of all things. When the mind is clear, life itself becomes luminous. But modern humanity has forgotten how to stop. We trade peace for speed, clarity for information, presence for the illusion of productivity. And so even when we have much, we feel lacking. Even among crowds, we feel alone. What we have truly lost is not success but connection with ourselves. The stillness spoken of in Buddhism is not external silence but inner quiet, where the mind no longer reacts but simply observes. It is not an escape from life but the ability to stand in the midst of it without being swept away. When your inner world is still, the outer world naturally softens. When the mind is at peace, even storms become gentle. The journey to stillness does not require you to withdraw from the world, only to return to the world within. For peace does not come from removing noise, but from learning not to be disturbed by it. In the moments ahead, we will explore 7 profound Buddhist teachings, principles that for thousands of years have helped people rediscover calm amidst chaos. Each teaching is a candle lighting the way back to the original stillness of your heart, where peace is not something to be earned, but something you already are. The mind is like a river that never ceases to flow. Every second hundreds of thoughts rush through, worries, memories, plans, imaginations. They come and go, yet we mistake ourselves for them. We say, I am sad, I am worried, I am afraid, and unconsciously turn fleeting emotions into fixed identities. The Buddha taught, the mind is the master, the mind creates, the mind leads. This means all suffering or peace begins with how we look at our own mind. When we identify with our thoughts, they control us. But when we observe them, we regain freedom. Imagine the mind as the sky, and thoughts as clouds. Some clouds are soft and white, others are dark and stormy. Yet no matter how the clouds shift, the sky remains vast and untouched. Likewise, your true nature is that sky of stillness, not the fleeting clouds. When you stop and observe your thoughts, you realize they are only phenomena, not truth. A thought has power only when you believe it to be real. But when you smile and watch it pass, it dissolves like morning mist under sunlight. A simple yet profound practice whenever worry arises: change the language. Instead of saying, I am worried, say, I am observing a feeling of worry. That single word, observing, creates distance between you and the thought. That distance is the space of freedom. In that space, you no longer react blindly. You can choose. Choose silence over anger, understanding over blame, calmness over fear. Buddhism calls this mindfulness, the capacity to be aware without being carried away by the stream of thoughts. With daily practice, the mind gradually becomes lighter and clearer. You will notice that emotional waves no longer crash as violently, for you are no longer the boat tossed about. You are the one sitting on the shore, watching the river flow. Remember, you cannot stop the river from flowing, but you can stop jumping in to swim with it. Life does not ask you to eliminate thought, only to realize you are not your thoughts. When you master that truth, the mind returns to its natural state, still lucid and compassionate, and from that place wisdom blooms and peace radiates. You are no longer a slave to the mind, but its master, the awakened observer, standing calmly amid the endless current of life. The The breath is the bridge between body and mind, silent yet enduring. When the breath is hurried, the mind is restless. When the breath slows, the mind naturally calms. The Buddha taught dwelling in the breath is returning to oneself. For the breath belongs to the present, it does not live in the past, nor reach into the future. It is the single anchor that allows us to pause amid the river of endless thoughts. Most people live without truly breathing. Their breaths are short, shallow, rushed, as if life were a race with no finish line. The more tension they carry, the shorter the breath. The more fear they hold, the tighter the chest. And when the breath is constricted, the mind is imprisoned in confusion. In contrast, with just one deep inhale and a slow exhale, the body releases the mind, loosens, and emotions begin to settle. This is why in meditation, breath is seen as the gateway to stillness. Try this ancient yet profoundly effective practice. Inhale through your nose for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts. Exhale through your mouth for 4 counts, then pause for 4 counts before beginning again. As you do so, your energy returns to the center, the body steadies, the mind quiets. In only a few minutes a day, you'll feel the shift. Thoughts drift less, the body softens, and a quiet peace begins to rise. In Buddhist teaching, this is called mindfulness of breathing anapanasati, the art of living consciously through each inhale and exhale. When the mind begins to waver, simply return to the breath, and you are instantly back in the present. The present moment is the only place where life truly happens, and the only place where peace can be found. See your breath as your most loyal companion, always there waiting for you to notice. When angry, breathe. When anxious, breathe. When afraid, breathe. With each slow, steady breath, you're sending yourself a message. I am safe. I am home. In that moment, the mind stops running, the body opens, and the heart softens. Life is constantly changing, but the breath is a harbor of peace within you. When you master your breath, you're no longer driven by emotion. You become the captain of your own mind. Stillness is no longer distant. It exists within every inhale, every exhale, every moment you truly live. The mind can never be truly calm when life is cluttered with excess. The more possessions, desires, and noise we accumulate, the further the heart drifts from stillness. The Buddha taught one who knows contentment is the richest of all. Simplicity is not renunciation, but discernment, not deprivation, but knowing what is enough. Most of our unease does not come from what we lack, but from what we endlessly demand more of. A mind constantly stimulated is like a lake filled with debris. The water cannot be clear because there's no space for light to pass through. Likewise, when life is dominated by information, news, worries, and endless pursuits, the mind grows chaotic and directionless. Simplicity is the art of creating space for the mind, and only when that space opens can wisdom and peace begin to grow. Simplicity starts with small things: tidying your room, organizing your workspace, turning off unnecessary notifications, letting go of relationships that have run their course, reducing needless comparisons. Each act is a way of giving your mind back a little space. Physical space directly affects mental space. A clear room helps you breathe deeper. A light heart helps you see life more clearly. Buddhism teaches Tri-Tuk, knowing sufficiency, to stop at the right time to value what is essential. The more complicated life becomes, the greater the need for inner simplicity. Every time you release something unnecessary, you add a bit of peace. When you stop trying to please everyone, you begin to feel content within yourself. Simplicity isn't about having less. It's about living with depth aligned with your true values. Ask yourself, do I really need this? Does this bring me peace? If the answer is no, let it go. You cannot hear the whisper of your soul when surrounded by too much noise. Simplicity is an act of wisdom, not an escape from the world, but a conscious way of living within it. A simple life does not take away what matters. It gives back what you truly need: lightness, freedom, and tranquility. When the outer world becomes lighter, the inner world expands. And within that spaciousness, you rediscover what has always been there, the serene stillness of a heart untouched by the small disturbances of life. One of the greatest causes of mental exhaustion today is the habit of multitasking, doing many things at once, but completing none with true presence. We eat while scrolling on our phones, work while thinking of something else, talk to someone while our minds wander elsewhere. The body is here, but the mind is not, and that is the root of restlessness. The Buddha taught, when walking, know you are walking. When eating, know you are eating. This seemingly simple line holds one of the deepest secrets of mindfulness, the power of full presence in every act. Single tasking is not just a skill, it is a state of mind. When you devote your full attention to one thing, the mind stops scattering, and energy gathers into a single flow. In that focused presence, distractions fade, and you begin to feel something the modern world has forgotten: peace in the present moment. Observe yourself when eating rather than rushing. Taste the food, feel its warmth, notice your breath. When working, resist the urge to jump between tabs and notifications. Instead, let your mind merge with the task at hand. When speaking, don't just listen to reply, listen to understand. Do only one thing, but do it with your whole being, and you'll notice time slows down and life deepens. The modern world worships speed, yet the human mind thrives on deliberate slowness. When you slow down, you begin to see the small details once overlooked: your true emotions, the subtle beauty of ordinary moments. Washing dishes can become meditation. Walking can be meditation. Folding clothes can be meditation, if you are fully present in each motion. Create an environment for focus. Turn off notifications, clear your workspace, take one deep breath before you begin. Between tasks, pause for a few seconds just to breathe, to reset your mind. That brief pause is the mindful gap that keeps you from being pulled into constant motion. The power of single tasking lies not in productivity, but in the quality of presence. When you are truly present, your work becomes clearer, your thinking sharper, your actions more precise. And paradoxically, when you stop rushing, you achieve more deeper, better, more beautifully. For when the mind is at peace, everything flows naturally. Single tasking is the path back to the present moment. The only place life truly happens, the only place you can touch serenity, freedom, and the simple joy of just being alive. Human beings do not suffer because of their problems. They suffer because they become their problems. When misfortune arises, we often say, "I failed, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve better." But the Buddha taught suffering is not who you are. It is only a passing rain. The truth is, problems are temporary phenomena, while you, the clear awareness within, are unchanging. When you identify with hardship, you hand it power over your mind. When you step back and observe, you reclaim your freedom. Every negative thought gains power only when you believe it is true. But once you realize that "I am experiencing fear" is different from "I am a fearful person," you've created distance between your essence and your emotion. That distance is the space of wisdom. Within that space, emotions no longer pull you blindly. You can see clearly what is real and what is merely a reaction. Even the language you use transforms your consciousness. "I'm facing pain" feels far gentler than "I am pain." From that awareness, self-compassion begins to bloom. Buddhism teaches that the root of suffering is attachment, clinging to what was only meant to pass. We clutch at the past, hold tight to pain, and bind ourselves with memory. But when you understand that all things are impermanent, you learn to let go. No emotion lasts forever. Even the fiercest storm eventually dissolves. Whenever the mind is caught in a problem, ask yourself, is this truly me, or just an experience moving through me? One question alone can open the door to liberation. When you stop identifying with pain, you no longer fight it, you begin to observe it, to understand it. With understanding comes compassion, and with compassion, suffering transforms. In facing challenges gently, you discover a quiet strength, the ability to turn pain into wisdom. Every problem is not an enemy, but a silent teacher shaping your inner growth. And remember to be grateful. Even adversity helps you see the boundaries you've outgrown. The awakened do not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" They ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" When the question changes, life changes too. Problems do not define you, your response to them does. You are not your failure, you are the one learning from it. You are not your pain, you are the one healing from it. When you understand this, you step out of the role of victim and into the role of master, the one who can smile amidst storms, knowing that all tempests are temporary, but peace endures. In the hurried rhythm of modern life, stillness has become a luxury. We are always busy, if not working, then thinking, if not speaking, then listening, if not moving, then curling up amid the endless noise of technology. Yet the Buddha taught, without stillness, wisdom cannot arise. Without wisdom, the mind cannot rest. Stillness is not an escape from life, but a resting place for the mind where energy is restored, awareness becomes clear, and the soul is cleansed of the dust of worry. Stillness doesn't mean sitting for hours in meditation halls. It means knowing when to pause. Pause between thoughts, pause in the middle of an argument, pause amid the rush of work to take one deep breath and return to yourself. Just one moment of stillness and the mind changes. Because only when you stop running can you truly see the road. Only when you stop talking can you hear the whisper of inner wisdom. You can begin with small moments, a few minutes of morning meditation, a few deep breaths during work, a cup of tea in silence before bed, or perhaps an afternoon immersed in nature, listening to the wind, watching the clouds to feel the stillness that has always been present around you. Each of these moments resets the mind. Tangled thoughts dissolve heavy emotions, lighten, and a gentle clarity arises. That is the art of renewing the mind. Remember, stillness is not an empty space, but a space where wisdom can breathe. When the mind is renewed each day, you no longer carry yesterday into today. Like polishing a mirror each morning, you keep the surface of consciousness clear, able to reflect life with purity and understanding. If you ever feel exhausted, lost, or directionless, don't rush to find answers, pause. Not because you are weak, but because you need to listen within. In those quiet moments, the seed of peace is watered and spiritual strength is reborn. That stillness is not only medicine for the heart, it is the foundation of all wise action. Daily stillness is a practice not to escape the world, but to return to your luminous nature. When you can remain calm amid chaos, when your heart is still like a lake even in the wind, when you can smile while standing in the stream of life, then you are truly free. For stillness is not the absence of sound, but the full presence of a peaceful mind. One of the deepest roots of anxiety is the desire for control. We want everything to unfold according to our will work, to go smoothly, people to behave as we expect the future to be safe, life to remain stable. But life is impermanent. Every attempt to tighten our grip only makes the hand ache and the heart grow weary. The Buddha taught, the more you grasp, the more you lose. The more you release, the more you gain. Only when we stop resisting life's current do we truly learn to flow with it. Control is an illusion born of fear. We cling because we fear loss. We calculate because we fear mistakes. We confine because we fear change. Yet, in the nature of all things, nothing is fixed. Everything is moving, shifting, arising, and passing away. To hold on is to resist the natural order. When we refuse to accept what is, we suffer because we want life to be different. But when we open our hearts to what is, we see a simple truth. Life does not need us to control it. It only asks us to join it. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means releasing force, not abandoning action. You still work, you still strive, but without attachment to results. You still care, still aim for goodness, but without forcing life to match your script. When you act with a calm heart, things flow naturally. When you act with grasping, even success feels uneasy. Remember, some things belong to your effort, but others belong to the rhythm of causes and conditions. You cannot rush them, nor can you hold them back. The practice of letting go begins with acceptance. Notice when your mind tightens from the urge to control, to be understood, to reach outcomes faster, to make everything right. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this truly within my control? If not, release it. When you stop trying to steer everything, space opens up, and within that space, wisdom appears. Like a boat carried by the river, once you stop struggling, you realize the current has always been guiding you to where you need to be. Letting go of control is one of the highest expressions of faith. Faith in cause and effect, faith in the natural order, faith that everything unfolds with meaning. It's not a loss of power. It's the discovery of true power, the power of acceptance. When you learn to let go, fear fades. When you allow life to move as it will, you touch freedom. And then you realize peace has never come from controlling the world outside, but from mastering your response within. When your heart softens, life itself becomes gentle. When you let go, you are not weak. You are strong, like water, quiet, yielding, yet capable of carving through stone. After all the searching, we come to realize a truth so simple, yet so profound: peace is not found outside, but within. It doesn't reside in distant places or grand achievements. It arises from how we live with our own mind each day. When the mind is calm, the world is calm. When the mind is clear, all circumstances become transparent. Peace is home, and that home has never been lost. We've only wandered too far for too long. The 7 teachings you've journeyed through are not abstract philosophies, but living practices, from observing thoughts instead of identifying with them, to mastering the breath, simplifying life, practicing single tasking, detaching from problems, cultivating daily stillness, and letting go of control, all lead to one destination: the return to the present moment, to the breath, to yourself. It is the journey everyone seeks outwardly, yet the one that can only be completed inwardly. Life will still bring changes, challenges, and moments of uncertainty, but once you've learned the way back, nothing can truly make you lost again. Each deep breath is a homecoming. Each minute of silence is a rebirth. Each fear you release opens the sky within you a little wider. Peace is no longer a dream, but a daily practice of mindful living. The Buddha taught, one who seeks peace outside is still dreaming. One who finds peace within has awakened. So do not wait for life to quiet down. Before you find peace, be peaceful amidst the noise. Do not search for a place to escape. Make your own mind a refuge. When the mind is the root, every storm becomes only passing wind. When the mind is steady, every direction leads you home. See each day as a small act of practice: a mindful breath in the morning, a moment of stillness at noon, a word of gratitude before bed. These simple rituals, repeated daily, weave a firm fabric of peace within your soul. Do not treat them as tasks to complete, but as a way to live. For when you live with a peaceful heart, you not only heal yourself, but you become a quiet source of healing for others. And now, as this journey comes to a close, take one deep breath. Feel it touch every cell of your being. Peace is here right in this moment. May you always know the way home. May you keep the lamp of mindfulness burning in your heart, so that no matter how the world changes, you remain steady and whole. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be free amid the ever-flowing stream of life.